A jury of 7 men and 5 women began deliberations this week in the trial of 3 Tacoma police officers charged in the March 3, 2020 death of Manuel Ellis, whose last words were, "I can't breathe." Jurors started discussions Thursday morning after prosecutors and defense attorneys spent 3 days making closing arguments, weaving together 9 weeks of testimony to make their cases for why jurors should either convict officers Matthew Collins, Christopher Burbank, and Timothy Rankin, or acquit them. Prosecutors said Collins and Burbank aren't accused of intentionally killing Ellis. They're charged with felony murder. Ellis died after a struggle with police that led to him being pressed to the street on his stomach with all of his limbs tied behind his back, and a series of officers putting their weight on him. A medical examiner determined Ellis died of oxygen deprivation from physical restraint. Special Prosecutor Patty Eakes delivered closing arguments for the state, focusing on Ellis' repeated pleas for breath and the lack of response from the officers. She also went after the credibility of Collins and Burbank's statements. Trial evidence showed Ellis told police he couldn't breathe at least 5 times, and his voice was picked up by a doorbell camera across the street from the incident. But only Rankin admitted to hearing Ellis. His response to the man was, "If you can talk to me, you can still breathe." Eakes said the officers chose to treat Ellis like he was less than human. Closing arguments for the defense started Tuesday, with one of Burbank's attorneys, Wayne Fricke, telling jurors that Ellis was to blame for his own death because he resisted arrest, forcing officers to use force against him. Evidence showed Burbank punched Ellis, shocked him with a taser 3 times, and retrieved hobbles used to tie Ellis' legs to his handcuffs behind his back. The attorney said Ellis' death was tragic, but that convicting the officers of killing him would only worsen the tragedy of the situation. An attorney for Collins, Jared Osser, went next, and he told jurors there was reason to doubt nearly every aspect of the state's case, including its most vital witnesses, Sarah McDowell and Seth Cowden, who took cell phone videos that contradicted the officers' accounts of what happened. The videos showed that Ellis didn't strike at officers while he was beaten and pressed to the ground. Osser said those witnesses hadn't seen the beginning of the encounter, and he suggested they had been paid off by an attorney for Ellis' family. And he defended Collins' claim that he didn't hear Ellis say, "I can't breathe." Even if he did, the attorney argued it doesn't make his client criminally responsible for Ellis' death. An attorney for Rankin, Mark Conrad, went last. Rankin responded as backup and told investigators he put all of his weight on Ellis' back. Conrad characterized the officer's actions as a low level of force and said that if Rankin had done something improper, the more senior officers at the scene would have stopped him. Conrad blamed Ellis' death on methamphetamine, which was in the man's system the night he died. I'm Peter Talbot, the criminal justice reporter for the News Tribune. You can follow our coverage at thenewstribune.com, and next time, we'll have a verdict.